Make that ass. Make that ass. Make that ass. Say make that ass clap. Make that ass.
Yeah. What's up? This is Mr. Royce of Royce Media coming at you guys with another video, with another live stream on YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Yeah, man. Let the weekend begin after the shift ends. How y'all doing today, man? Y'all good? I hope so. I hope y'all doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm trying to make it out here. Yeah. Do me a favor, as you guys come into the live stream, hit that like button or hit the dislike button. I don't care which one. Hit one of those buttons and say something in the chat. Let me know you're here. I'd like to have an idea of who's watching and, do me a favor and announce where you're from so I can know how far my live streams are getting out. Also, remember that if you don't if you're not able to watch this on YouTube or Facebook, I'm also on Rumble. So I'm on all three platforms. I was on Twitter. I'll probably try to get back on. Twitter is a bit problematic, but I'll sit down and figure it out one day. Help me grow this platform. I would appreciate it if you guys do that. Share it with your friends. Share it with people who you would think would like some of the subjects I talk about. Speaking of which, there's a lot going on in the news right now, and we're going to talk about some of it. But before we get into the main topic, I like to talk about Dame Dash on the PBD podcast right now. He's on the PBD podcast, and I'm gonna tell you something about Dame Dash. I like Dame Dash. I like some of the stuff he says about business. I'll put it that way. But if he was a person that I knew in person, we would probably come close to fisticuffs, And it's not because I dislike Dame, but it is because Dame will take stuff to the brink. And I'm the type of person that tends to accept invitations to violence. You know, he would get in my face, and that's like, that's a fight. You don't, especially now that I am retired, I am not taking the bullshit that I had to take for years. I had to set aside my personal, uh, my personal preferences, my personal standards for years in order for the greater good of my family. Now that everybody is grown and on their own, and I am retired, if you get too close to me, if you violate my personal space, you are going to have an issue. You're going to have a painful issue. I am very good at old man jujitsu. I am very good at old man combatives. And you will find out just how treacherous I can be standing that close. If you're gonna if you got beef with me, you better do it from a distance. Because if you do it to where I can reach you, you're gonna have a problem. And see, Dame, I think he's the type of person, man. He would take it to that point, he would get real aggressive with his mouth and get all in your face, and I'm not having it. I don't have the patience for it. And so that's all I'm saying. But I would do it out of love. I'm the type of person, I'll give you what you need, even if that includes some speed knots upside your head. That's how I operate. I'm not one of these. Uh, I'm not the it's in this day and age. I am not the type of person to sit there and be long suffering with you. No, we're gonna get you right. We're gonna get you fixed. We're gonna get you what you need, and we're gonna give you something to reflect on while you laid up. You know, so yeah, he's over there tweaking, man. Like 1 minute he'll be talking about something good, and I'll be like, yeah, yeah, that's good stuff, Dane. That's good stuff. And then he'll flip out. He'll get real hyper emotional. And, you know, he'll start talking aggressive. But he only does that with people that allow it. If you don't allow it and he knows you're going to take it there, yeah, I have a feeling he'll pull back because most people do. Most people are not ready. They're not really with the shits, so to speak, you know. I mean, there are people that are, and they just gonna take it there almost immediately. But most people aren't. But see, Dame is the kind. He's the kind of person that pushes his limits. And actually, with the topic today, we're going to talk about people who push their limits, and not in a good way. And but they're doing whatever you let them get away with, and you know people eventually get tired of that. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that today. So, other than that, what's going on with you guys? Say something, put something in the chat. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Let's do a vibe check. Let's do a Friday vibe check. So, put in the chat how you feeling today. What kind of mood you're in right now at this moment. Let's do that. Let's do a vibe check. All right, y'all ain't got no vibe. All right. Well, I told y'all what the vibe was for me. Hey, I'm here. I'm feeling decent. I'm just out here trying to make it. So enough about that. Hey, let me ask y'all a question, man. Have y'all ever seen this rapping granny? Hey, they just let anybody rap nowadays, man. You got the one dude, you know what? They just let anybody rap. Um, but that's been going on for a while. Now people going back and re-examining Puffy's lyrics for stuff, and they're noticing stuff I noticed years ago. They're noticing stuff about Puffy's lyrics that I noticed years ago. Now, you can call him Diddy, you can call him P. Diddy, you can call him Puff Daddy, you can call him Sean, John, whatever. Hey, we all talking about the same person, you know. I mean, his legal and entertainment name, his misnomer may be different, every so many years, because it's a business tactic, really. But we're talking about the same person. Let's take a look at some of his lyrics. How suspect those lyrics were. But I have been saying this for 2 decades that this guy says stuff that ain't cool. Just like DMX, Biggie. It's a whole lot of rappers, man. They say some stuff and it's like, hey, man, what's up with that? Let me see. This might be a good one right here. Let's see. Let's see, man. Yeah, yesterday I had some issues with OBS, man. It was OBS wasn't picking up my mic, and it it was pretty annoying. It wasn't monitoring my mic. I wasn't getting any volume on the live stream, so I just yesterday was pretty much a wash. I don't like doing that unless I have some important business that's going to ultimately put money in my pockets. But um, you know, yesterday was pretty much a wash. But I'm back here today. Let's take a look at this. Take a look at this Puffy video.
You was more than my girl, we was like brothers. All night we would play fight undercovers. Now you gone, can't love her. Didn't appreciate it, so I made her cry for me. Every night she had tears in her eyes for me. Caught a case, shorty took the whole ride for me. At first we were friends, then became lovers. You was more than my girl, we was like brothers. All night we would play fight undercovers. Now you gone, can't love her. Didn't appreciate it, so I made her cry for me. Every night.
Hey, so what y'all think, man? I had the mic off, but what y'all think about that song, man? I spotted that years ago about that Diddy song was like that. Is he just trying to make shit rhyme, or is he telling us about his lifestyle? And make no mistake, I used to deal with the hip hop scene in Chicago back in the early '90s, late '80s. If you've been on this channel before, I gave the rundown of my history with the hip hop entertainment industry, and my run in with R. Kelly, because I actually was in a group. We had the same management as public announcement, and I had to help R. Kelly understand he was not going to be grooming my younger sister. So, but just like I knew about R. Kelly back in the late 80s, early 90s, knew about Puffy. I've been knowing about Puffy since like 91, 92. I learned about Puffy real quick after that first Mary J. Blige album. I was like, yeah, this dude, something up with him. Yeah, man. But yeah, that was, that was just one example of the Sean Diddy Puff Daddy Combs lyrics where he would say some way out stuff. Look, we got another video. I wonder if it's the same song. Let's snatch it. Let's take a look at it. Let me see what y'all think, man. Say something in the chat, man. Do me a favor and interact in the chat. You know, let's get this thing popping, man. Let's
Can't love you like I really want
yeah, same
But
song.
every time I took the whole ride for me. At first we were friends, then became lovers. You was more than my girl, we was like brothers. All night we would play fight under covers. Now you gone.
All right, anyway, same song. But you know what? People are noticing some of the stuff Puffy would say. You know, it's the same thing. Like I said with R. Kelly, you start paying more attention to the lyrics. People are starting to pay attention to the lyrics of guys like DMX and Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat used to say some way out stuff. You know, and it can be said that explaining to people what you are going to do to them or what your intentions are before you do them is a Illuminati tactic. I don't know. Hey, shout out to Mike Reed. Good morning, Mike Reed. Hey, I appreciate you being in the clouds. I appreciate you, bro, getting that paperwork done. Hey, I hear you, man. I always gave that guy a side eye. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Mike, back in the day, you know, when you were younger and we were at the gym, man. Yeah, you know, even back in the days, and uh, I knew back then, hey, something was up with Puffy's lyrics, man. Something was up with like I said, you would hear the stuff about Puffy, about Diddy and them parties and you know, then you listen to his music and some of the stuff he would say. And make no mistake, like R. Kelly, his music bumps. It does. But there would be some little messages. You'd be like, hey, man. And I noticed that a long time ago. I'm one of those people that actually pay attention to the lyrics. I remember back in the day, my young daughter, my youngest girl, she really was a fan of the song Trap Queen by Fetty Wap. She really liked the beat. She would be dancing and she would be saying the lyrics. And I'm like, hey, say what you said again. Repeat those lyrics again. And listen to what you're saying. And see, you know, I didn't raise my daughters in the inner city or next to the hood. So they didn't understand. She didn't understand what a trap queen was. And I had to explain to her, that's a drug house, bitch. That's not you. That's not your life. You don't even know what you're talking about. You know, but that's what happens with a lot of these songs. It's got a cool beat and people they start liking it. You know, it's got a catchy little hook to it. Next thing you know, you singing a song about molesting a kid. That's what happens with some of this music. And you talking about doing a line of coke. You know that one girl, Sia. She was talking about self deletion in a song, but the song it had a nice beat to it. So yeah, man. Yeah. Did he Mike Reed says he did atrocious things when he had the show Making the Band. You know, I heard that and I've seen like little video snippets, but I never actually watched the show. So yeah, I didn't. But I'm not surprised. I mean, that's the stuff Diddy would do. Diddy's a weirdo. He's always been a weirdo, man. And he's not the only one. And you all are going to see in the near future, more and more people's weirdness has been exposed. Speaking of which, shout out to my man, to my bro Snowman. He's been doing, he did episode 1 for sure of the whole Nickelodeon story, the behind the scenes of the Nickelodeon story on Netflix. He did a breakdown of it. And how, you know, Dan Snyder was, man, he was a perv. He was a perv, man. He was a weirdo, and he was doing all kind of crazy stuff. And for years, I remember my stepsister loved Nickelodeon. And I would see stuff on there and be like, hey man, it would always be like a lot of sexual innuendo worked into a lot of the game shows and stuff. But like these kids is getting slimed. And then if you remember Ren and Stimpy would have a lot of sexual innuendo. SpongeBob is another one. They're grooming the kids, and the parents they think, it's for kids, and yeah, we gotta sit there and let the kids watch it. Pam, she don't want to pay attention to what her kids doing anyway. So she sit them down in front of the TV and they're watching all of this stuff where, it's a lot of sexual innuendo aimed at kids. And now this Netflix special is really talking about what was going on behind the scenes. And I think everybody should watch it, man. I think we should watch it so we can learn, or reflect on some of the stuff we saw back in the days. It's a lot of stuff, man. When you really think about it, a lot of times you'll tell, a lot of times you're being told what happens as it happens, or you're being warned, and it's up to you to catch the warnings, So I think that's important, man. I think it's important. What do you all think about that? What do you all think about that? Well, while y'all thinking about it, do me a favor and hit that like button, man. Hit the like button and hit the dislike button, man. Messing around. Hit one of them buttons, man. You know? At this point, I'd rather you guys, right now, I'd rather you hit the like button than hit the Cash App. Like button is free. Hit that like button, man. So, yeah, it's like, another example of that was back in the day when they first started really talking this reparations stuff in the modern times when Obama was running and everybody like, you gonna get on your reparation. You gonna get on your reparation. And Obama was like, you're not getting reparations. He told you what it was, and everybody had, that pro reparations crowd was like, he gonna get it. And I was like, no, he told you you're not gonna get it. That's the end of the conversation. Why he's not gonna do it, So, but yeah, man. So, but moving on. Speaking of lyrics, I got something I want y'all to see, man. I saw this a while back, and it was hilarious, and I wanted to take a look at it with you guys. You all to see what y'all think about it, man. Let me see if I can copy this URL. And let's see if we can put it on this OBS. OBS is it's working with me today. It does, I guess the OBS's pH ain't off today. So the OBS ain't having hormone problems today.
Right undercovers. Now you gone.
Oh, okay, no, we're not doing that. Let's refresh. Let's see. No, that's not. I tell you, man, that I Need a Girl video. Hey, that song was it bumped too back in the days. It did. It was a banger, but you know it was real suspect, man. Let me go back, trying to pull this video up. All right, let me try to pull this video up, man. Thank you all in advance for your patience. Okay, so that's not going to work. Try it one more way. Hmm. Well, if it ain't one thing, it's something else, man. I tell you, if it ain't one thing, it's something else with it. You know. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go and do it this way. Uh, uh, let's do this. Yeah, I need an assistant, man. Hey, y'all help me grow this platform so I can hire an assistant, man. I need a technical person to do all of this other shit for me because
One of the better things that I decided to do in my adult life was to see a therapist.
The biggest barrier to entry has always been finding a good therapist.
yeah, we are.
It's called both rock and crack, but no matter what you call it, it is nearly pure cocaine and it can kill.
Crackheads fiending, have them up on their feet, fiending for the shit all night like a treat. Roaming through the streets trying to figure out a way how they can get.
Hey, that's GMX, Grandma MX. Yeah, let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
High every single day, stealing from stores, breaking in houses, knocking on your door, all kinds of hours. Microwaving hand, just trying to get a hit. Please, please, please give them some of that shit. Get the fuck away from my door before I knock your ass out and you hit the floor. Ain't nobody playing this time of the night. Respect my house before we have to fight. Crackheads looking for that motherfucker, I'm in a drought. I take no shorts, you know how it works. Get the fuck out my face.
Hey, Granny, she's serving. Oh my God, she's serving. Hey, if this is not a sign to get away from all toxic urban culture and shenanigans and vices, nothing else is. Granny is talking about serving packs. She's serving things. Oh my God. Let's continue fair use, fair use.
Bitch ass jerk. Money gotta look right in order to purchase. If you start acting shady, you gon' make me nervous. Then no telling what might happen. Fuck around and get to capping. Call my people up, they got my back. They pulling up in the tinted Cadillac. Got shooters all around when you wanna act a clown. This ain't the time or the place, don't you hear the sound? Better run now.
Okay, I've had enough of that. I've had enough of that. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. So what do y'all think about that, man? It just let anybody rap, man. You know. And that is not to say that there hasn't been white people in hip hop since the early days of hip hop, because there has. But you know, when it gets to, I think when it gets to that point, you know, it's like maybe some things need to be rethought and outright abandoned. Um, you know, and I think the trap music is one of them, because now you got Trap Granny. You got Trap Granny. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. You got Trap Granny. So let's delve into the main topic, the topic on the thumbnail, which is, this is another episode of my City Girls Mayhem series. And this is a special episode that is called Systematic Incompetence. Systematic Incompetence. This is in reference to a panel, a board had, you know, be that made, be that what it is, that is deemed one of the Black Girl Magic politicians, one of the DEI politicians, one of the representationers, has deemed what's going on with her a vestige of systematic incompetence. So what is systematic incompetence? Let's look up systematic incompetence. Let's look it up. Let me look that up. Okay, that didn't work. So basically, what I'm finding, it's like they don't want to talk about it. It's so far it's a bank term, you know, looking it up on Google. But I'm gonna tell you, I'll tell you this. You have to really, Google tries to guide you in what the social engineers want. as far as information, and rather than the information that you're looking for, you know. And so I have issues with Google as a search engine. It's not a search engine. It's a direction engine, you know. So instead of looking up the term systematic incompetence to lay out the direction of the topic, we're just going to go straight into who this episode of City Girls Mayhem is about. So let me look her up. This woman is a judge by the name of Christina Peterson. We're going to look up Christina Peterson up on YouTube, and we're going to do like a little brief synopsis, little brief history of her exploits and her history in the news, because this situation that's going on right now is not the first instance of her being in the news. And so we're going to talk about it. Let me pull up this story. We're going to take a look at it and we'll talk about it. Rapping granny. And why not? I guess because you got twerking grannies and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, it was bound to happen.
Managed WordPress hosting by Hostinger. Here are 3 super features to improve your website's performance. 1. Our in-house built CDN connects a global network of servers to deliver content quickly.
An extraordinary development tonight in the long-running investigation into Douglas County Judge Christina Peterson.
In a rare move, a hearing panel decided Peterson is guilty of, quote, systemic incompetence and should not remain in office. Fox 5 team reporter Randy Travis explains.
Judge, you want to take a break?
Christina Peterson did not do herself any favors during 7 days of hearings beginning last September. The JQC hearing panels.
Hey, is she crying? Is she crying? Oh, we're going to get into that. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
Report criticized her for not taking any responsibility for the 30 counts of judicial misconduct lodged against her.
I just don't have memories of my dad. I don't know who he is.
The most troubling, wrote the panel, Peterson's decision to jail this woman for trying to amend her marriage certificate to include the real name of her recently discovered father.
Did you go to this hearing with any idea that you may be going to jail?
No.
Okay, on this particular case right here, this is a Asian American woman from Thailand who married a black man in this county. I want to believe it's Fulton County, but she was married to a black man, and her and her husband applied for a marriage license, and she had to, she wasn't a citizen of the country, but she was an immigrant, and in order for her to get married, she had to list her known relatives. Now, at the time, prior to this, when she filed, she listed the name of her stepfather, who was the man that had raised her from infancy to adulthood. Well, shortly after using his name on the application for the license, she learned who her real father was, and so she wanted to amend the marriage license. She wanted to do the right thing. And this is what I have an issue with. When people trust the system and they try to do the right things by the system and they try to be good citizens, the system, it is not uncommon for the system to screw over them. I've had it happen to me. I've seen it happen to other people. It's almost like it's baked in the cake, and you have a lot of demons that work in these positions that they use their positions and they use policy and they use people doing the right thing to screw over those same people. Like I said, it's happened to me. I've seen it happen to other people. And you know, it's sad, and it's, you know, something's got to be done about people like that. Let's look at what Judge Christina Peterson did to this woman who did nothing wrong. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
PJ Skelton served 2 days of a 20-day jail sentence for contempt before her husband could pay a $500 fine. Such a hasty and shockingly disproportionate reaction is the hallmark of Peterson's intemperance, wrote the panel. The report criticized Peterson's attempt at this meeting to get her HOA board to settle a...
Okay, this is another example of, you know, Judge Christina Peterson exploiting the system, and she did it in more than one way. And this is an example of her, how she would use her power and position to pretty much screw over people she should have been helping. Let's take a look at it. Fair use, fair use. Let's continue.
A lawsuit she had filed, even though she knew the HOA was represented by an attorney. Peterson's attempts to avoid responsibility for these clear violations bordered on the farcical, severely eroding her credibility with the hearing panel.
You cannot go in this building, and eventually she went in.
The sheriff's office said Peterson ignored their orders and held a wedding after hours, allowing people inside without deputies present. She once hit a panic button when a deputy was late escorting her to court, causing a temporary panic among security. And when county staff criticized her actions, it quickly triggers allegations of obstructionism or even racism. These communications and actions reveal a judge who publicly vilifies colleagues, is quick to threaten them with unnecessary legal action, and generally projects a spiteful and vainglorious persona.
I'm the first.
Who does this remind you of? Well, I shouldn't even say that because it's so common. It's so common. You know, you can pull any name up out of the atmosphere and you'd be right. Who immediately comes to mind with this situation is Fannie Willis and Tiffany Henyard and LaToya Cantrell. And, you know, I'm starting to think that there is a certain indoctrination that these women receive in college and in sororities and in these different Black women in particular organizations that encourages willful and wanton abuse of power. It seems that way. Am I wrong? Am I wrong to think that way? Because we're seeing way too many examples of this from Black female politicians and Black females in powers. Even like with the ones I mentioned, you look at like the Claudine Gays and stuff, even the ones that are in the academy, we see this. I think there is something, I think it's almost like they're being directed to do some of the stuff that they've been doing. I don't know. Is it me? What do y'all think? Say something in the chat. Mike Reed says you're on to something. Yeah, man. It almost seems like it's an objective. It's a targeted objective. Like, when you get this power, go and be an asshole with it, and not an asshole and that they accomplished this thing, but it's like go and fuck with people. You know, the story that they told about her, about Christina Peterson locking up this woman for wanting to update and amend information on a marriage license on the application. I mean, and again, it's because the man she married was black. It's man, you know, I'm at the point where I wouldn't vote for most of them to be in charge of anything, because you know it's going to be some problems, because every time you look up all over the country, you know, in every major city, major county, in every urban area, we're starting to see the same thing. It's almost like you can swap out the woman and swap out another woman in her place, and it's the same craziness, man. You know, and this is stuff that, you know, we've seen men go to prison for. Shout out Kwame Kilpatrick. Shout out who was that mayor of New Orleans back in the day. He ended up going to jail. He ended up going to prison. You know, I've seen men lose jobs. I've seen men go to prison, and I mean, only just now you're seeing women starting to do the same stuff. Shout out Marilyn Mosby, but it's far and few in between. You know, man. You know, I mean, you look at Kim Fox in Chicago, Lori Lightfoot. We still haven't heard a whole lot about that domestic she had at the house, where her and her wife's been got into fisticuffs. Yeah, you know, that was buried. You know, but we heard all about the police, you know, superintendent. You know, we all heard about, you know, his little tryst. So yeah, you know, but not the domestic. That, you know, the IPV incident. We didn't hear about that, you know, of then Mayor Lightfoot. You know, they still quiet. Ray Nagin. Hey, what's up, Harambe? Welcome to the live stream, bro. I appreciate you being here. It was Harambe. I mean, it was Ray Nagin. You're right. That's who it was. I wanted to call him David Dinkins or something, but I knew David Dinkins was the mayor of New York City at one time. Mike Reese says kitten wrestling. Mike Reese says all women. Yeah, man. Yeah. Evil dictators. Bro, we're starting to see some stuff. We're starting to see so much stuff. It's like, man, there's a problem here. And so now we got to start looking at where's this problem coming from? You know, because it's all of these supposedly educated and enlightened black women who get in positions of power. The first thing they do is fuckery. Let's continue. Let's look at this video. Let's look at this news clip some more. Fair use, fair use.
African American female and Democrat. Yes. I was never celebrated or congratulated.
Oh, not the tears, man. I was never celebrated, congratulated, and celebrated. Representation. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
On my day of swearing in, I was sworn in by Judge Emerson. I received my first JQC complaint.
Peterson's main defense was her inexperience as a judge, a problem she promised has been addressed through additional training. But the panel was not buying it. The report also cited multiple examples of failure to actually do her job, needlessly delaying petitions before her office. The hearing panel said Peterson was guilty of systemic incompetence. Judges are expected to act in a manner that promoted the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary. Respondent has shown that she cannot or will not do so, and so she must go.
Peterson has 20 business days to file exceptions to this report with the Georgia Supreme Court. They're the ones who will ultimately decide whether to take the recommendation to have her removed from office. I talked to her attorney, Lester Tate.
Hey, I believe this is out there in Fulton County, man. I do think this is out there in Fulton County. Shout out Fannie Willis. After all, this video was taken from Fox News Atlanta. So if it's Fulton County, I'm not surprised. There's another story out in Fulton County as well. Let me look through my notes and see if I can find it for today's show. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
Told me they disagree with the recommendation and they will take it to, quote, the next level. At the live desk, Randy Travis, Fox 5 News.
Let me show you how we
I'm sitting here running my mouth, man. Well, I'm sitting here. I was trying to find. There's a video. There was a video of another black woman from Fulton County who was in charge of some stuff. I want to say she was some kind of chief inspector, and she had she got one of the guys under her to have an affair with her, and he decided he didn't want to do that anymore, and so she fired him, and then she started stalking him and all kinds of stuff, and he ended up winning a sexual harassment lawsuit. And so it sounds like a story. Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, man. But this guy ended up winning a sexual harassment lawsuit against this this female bigwig from, I want to say, Fulton County, man. And like I said, we're seeing this all over the country in different places, man, where these women are, it's like almost immediately they get into a job and they start abusing power. I think it's a program. I'm really starting to think that it's something that's programmed into them, before they even get into these positions, and that part of that programming is for them to, when you get this position, shit on as many people as possible. Am I right? I think Mike Reed said he thinks I'm on some. What about some of you other people in the chat? Do you think that this is what's happening as well? I believe that there's some kind of grooming to have them do this, man. You know? So I don't know. Can you guys, first of all, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Am I getting through to you? Yeah, man. So yeah, I think there's something going. I think there's something up with that, man. You know, I think there's something up with that, man. And it's not just cool. Appreciate you, Mike Reed. It's and it's getting younger and younger. You know, even what we just had the NCAA, the college basketball. This is March. This is like the finals for the college basketball season. I don't particularly watch, like, you know, basketball and stuff like that. Every now and then I watch it, but when I do watch it, I watch it at the college level. I do like college sports better than the professional sports. I like college football. Mike Reed says I have experience with what you're saying. Yeah, man. I you know, I think there's something to it, because even, you know, getting back to the college basketball topic, even some of the stuff that some of these female athletes are doing, they're it's like them being nasty people has been being put on display, being mean and nasty, and it's like, I think it's being taught. It's being taught and it's being encouraged and cultivated um in the academy, and I think it starts in it starts in primary school. It starts in elementary and primary schools, and these girls, these the black American women are being groomed to be mean little manlets, and they get these positions and they just lose their minds wherever they go. Even in the corporate industry, they go into these corporate jobs and act a fool. You don't know how many instances I've heard of black women going into these corporate jobs. They get these positions and they cut a path of destruction through them until they get fired and stuff, you know. And it's like, man, you know. Or what you have is like the former VP of the Johnson Media Company, where, you know, she side chicked her way to the top. And then she wanted to turn around and said, "Oh, I'm a victim." No, you was a volunteer. You traded coochie for access and promotions. That's what you did. You willingly traded coochie for career mobility. You know, and it's like, man, what's going on? Do y'all remember the story about the AKAs? You know, sex trafficking each other. Do y'all remember? I did that last week. Talked about the AKAs out here selling the box. Mike Reed said, tampon mafia. Well, shout out to Mike Reed. Shout out to Mike Reed with the tampon mafia. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, yeah. It's, I think there needs to be a closer look at how these women are being groomed for these positions of power that they find themselves in, because it's it's getting to the point to where you can't stop noticing. Once the noticing starts, you can't stop noticing how horrible they are when they get positions of power, man. It's like, I can think of right now 15 different cases that are in the news of Black American women in power that are absolutely abusing their power, absolutely waging lawfare and policy fair in a warped way against people they don't like or political opponents and stuff. They're doing all the dirty work for the Dixiecrats and white feminism and white male symmetry. Which we're gonna do something on that. I'm going to do a show on how the white male simp has sacrificed his company for the adoration of the white female vagina. I think I'm going to do that show. What do y'all think? Mike Reed says, I remember when the older guys would come to school for mentoring when they were pledging. Yeah. You know, yeah, I am a fraternity member myself, and that was, we did some things, as far as that. But, more than anything, them guys just wanted to have pool parties and stuff like that. So, I was like, okay, I'm trying to get connections, network for jobs and stuff. Y'all trying to look at half-naked hoes, and we're not gonna work good together like that. I'm trying to get money. Y'all trying to get bitches. All right. Yeah. Mike Reed says, I used to think, Klaus, why is he coming to talk to a female sorority? Yeah. Yeah. You know what that mentoring was. You know what that was about. That was, yeah. And he wasn't the only one, because them female mentors would be in there grooming them girls too. We last year, I think you had two instances of female coaches sleeping with with female athletes. So yeah, man. Hey, there's enough of this content. There's enough material and news about different things like this where I will not run out of content if I just focused on this. Speaking of which, is this something you all would like me to delve further into? Because I will. If you all support the channel, if you all like and share these videos and get this channel out there to where we can get more eyes on it, I will do more of this content, because I won't run out. It's so much of it. From the stuff that's in the news to the stuff you guys send me. Hey, man, Latoya at the job, man, she did such and such, and then she got old boy fired because, she didn't like him because, his girlfriend was white. Send me them stories too. Videotape them bitches and send me stories of that stuff too. Because we got to put it on blast, man. We got to put it on blast. We have to make it real. We have to make it a situation where it will be damn near impossible for them to deny it comfortably, because there's so much evidence in their face. But there's something wrong. And the thing is that, like I said, very few of them go to jail. Very few of them go to prison. Even when they get fired, they get a social parachute. They have become the white men of non-black America. You know, they are them 40. They are white men from the 50s. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. It's crazy. So, yeah, if that's what y'all want to do, man, we will talk about this some more. This is another step, man. There's so much news on. We're gonna look at this story, man. We are going to look at this story right here because the white women said, "Hold my beer." White women are saying, "Hold my beer." They out here clowning too bad. They out here loving up the kids, man. They're out here loving up the kids, and we're not just gonna put that on white women because I have seen black women and Hispanic women do the same thing. This is the latest story I just found. I guess this happened 4 weeks ago. We're gonna take a look at this story and we'll talk about it.
Don't settle for less, paint with the best. Protect your biggest investment while saving thousands compared to repainting. Ring in the new year with $750 off. Request your free quote today at rhinoshieldjax.com.
First, she was accused of rape, and then she allegedly admitted she's pregnant with a former student's baby. Now, this ex-elementary school teacher is slammed with nearly 24 charges in a new indictment. Prosecutors say
the title of this news story says, teacher accused of sexually abusing 21 kids claims she's pregnant with student's baby. I don't know if they worded the title in a way to, for the shock value, because media companies are notorious for doing that, or and that this is a situation where she was hit with 21 charges for 21 incidents, or this was 21 separate children that she's being charged with, which means she could have even more, she could be facing even more charges. And she's pregnant with a student's baby. Now, in the news story itself, it was saying a former student. So let's take a closer look at the story. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
she sexually assaulted as many as 21 children.
There's nothing in this that would resonate with a juror other than they would be disgusted and horrified by this woman.
It's a story we've been following since the start of the 2023 school year, when 38-year-old Alyssa McCommon was arrested for the first time. That was on September 8th in Covington, Tennessee, about an hour northeast of Memphis. Police there began an investigation into McCommon, a now former elementary school teacher, after receiving a tip about an inappropriate relationship with a former student. Officials say McCommon started talking to students outside of the classroom by playing video games with the children before switching communication to social media apps. After that, police...
Man, I'm telling you, them damn apps, boy. Them social media apps be getting, and them gaming apps, they be getting more people in trouble, man. It expanded opportunities for perverts to target people, perverts and criminals and scammers and stuff. But they also get caught a whole lot more, which, I think is just a reflection of, I think we're seeing just how much criminality is out there. Mike Reed says she made me hashtag she made me do it. You know, Mike Reed says they are the true diddlers. If you're talking about women, yes, they they are the first and most often diddlers, and they get away with crimes of trust the most. Every case of a man involves a female accomplice. Yes, Mike Reed says these are the ones that have just been caught. Yes, the true predators. Yes, I agree. Yeah, you got a whole lot of bans. I I got some stories, man. I got stories from my personal life and my professional life of women behaving terribly in a sexual manner. And we grow this channel, man. Maybe I'll tell some of those stories, man. But look at that French President Macron. Yeah, he's married to a ma'am. That's a ma'am. That's a guy. The French president's wife is a guy, man. It's a whole boy. It's a boy, Damon. Let's continue with this story about this female predator. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
McCommon sent explicit photos before requesting sexual relations with the victims. Initially, McCommon was charged with rape and booked into the Tipton County Jail, but shortly released on $25,000 bond. We reported on McCommon's case again after her second arrest on September 28th. She was taken into custody that time after allegedly violating a no-contact order and reaching out to a victim. At the court appearance for those charges, prosecutors played snippets of a voicemail McCommon made while out on bail, allegedly confessing she was pregnant with the boy's baby.
Why don't you own commercial real estate? Yes, you. Why don't you own commercial property? After all, just one commercial deal can dramatically impact your financial life forever. Just imagine one commercial deal paying all of your monthly expenses month after month after month. It can be done. Others are doing it, and so can you. So what's holding you back? Are you just not sure what to do? Or
I will never text you again. You will never hear from me again. Just please don't say anything. I'm under so much stress and I'm so scared all the time. I'm trying to tell you when it comes up. I'm looking like you. We don't have to talk anymore. Just please God tell me you're not.
She got the whole pregnant gut going. Let's continue.
Fast forward to this week when McCommon was indicted on 23 counts of sexual misconduct against minors. Her charges include rape of a child, 5 counts aggravated statutory rape, 4 counts of sexual exploitation by electronic means, 4 counts of solicitation of a minor to commit aggravated statutory rape, 2 counts of statutory rape by an authority figure, 2 counts of coercion of a witness, and 2 counts of aggravated stalking, violation of the Child Protective Act, tampering with evidence, and harassment.
It's a real anomaly, at least from what I've seen in these kinds of cases.
According to trial attorney Ann Bremner, the sheer number of indictments against McCommon is staggering.
And it's pretty unusual to see women being predators to this extent with this.
That's because they get away with it. Nobody tells, especially if their victims are boys and until recently, if the victims were boys, when it was found out that a boy or young man was molested by an older woman, it was seen as her doing him a favor. And this was most oftenly projected by older men that, yes, you got your son from a woman. You should be, you're pretty lucky there, kid. They endorse the child molested, which if the gender roles were reversed, then they have out, they'd have out the the hunting party, the lynching party to get rid of the male offender. So a lot of this stuff, we're just learning about a lot of this stuff. We're hearing more and more about it because now, number one, you have more women in law enforcement, and women know women ain't shit. And two, you know, we are in the information age. Women can't hide that stuff as much anymore. And men are slowly waking up to, hey, this is wrong. And this is going to cause me problems later on in life. And, you know, it'll cause me problems that, you know, I'll be looked at as the shitbag for not getting this together, not fixing myself, you know, or they'll people just think that I'm a shitbag because I'm a shitbag. No, you know, I'm a victim of different crimes from the people I should have trusted the most, and some of those people were women. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
Many victims.
The indictments come 6 months after McCommon's original arrest. We're seeing nearly 24 indictments.
Right.
Why would an investigation like this take so long?
Well, I mean, we see that victims are reluctant to come forward no matter what their age. And then you're dealing with, you know, younger, underage juveniles. They're not going to tell their parents a lot of the time. And it takes a long time to figure out the breadth of what she's been doing, which is pretty astonishing. You know, that you started with the one young man, and then, of course, it goes on from there.
And I know in the past, at least what prosecutors say, is that she communicated with former students via Snapchat or social media.
Yeah, we're going to end that particular video here. Tell me, what do you guys think? You know, let me know what you guys think. Let me get that camera back on. Let me know what you guys think, man. This is... there's a bunch of stories like this, though. So look at French President Macron. That teacher groomed him. Yeah, spot on. Yeah, man. You know, and he's not the only one. You know, R. Kelly says that him and his brother were groomed, were molested by their older sister. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Let's see. Man, it's wild out here, man. You know, we got some wild stuff going on, man. We got some wild stuff going on. So, oh yeah, we forgot to talk about O.J. Simpson. Yesterday, it came out in the news that O.J. Simpson passed. O.J. Simpson is a American football legend, who was also a celebrity spokesman for different companies such as Hertz rental cars, different things like that. And what really brought him to public notoriety and infamy was the death of his ex-wife and a male, another male who was on scene. It is unclear if that male was a romantic, was a love interest or a friend of his ex-wife. But O.J. Simpson was accused of their murder. He went to trial and was found not guilty. This not guilty announcement was made famous, made the quote famous, if it does not fit, you must acquit, which was referring to one of the gloves that was allegedly left on scene and entered into evidence in the murder case against O.J. Simpson. After he was found not guilty of this particular crime, he was subsequently locked up I want to say in Nevada, for trying to retrieve some property of his that was stolen. And the system basically used that as a way to lock him up, to get some time up out of him. And he also lost a civil suit to the parents of his deceased ex-wife. They were able to sue him and win a judgment against him via a lawsuit. So, O.J. Simpson is he's a cultural, not icon, but he is a cultural, I guess, landmark. That's the only word that I can think of right now. But you know, uh, you know, he, uh, he definitely had an impact on the culture, be it positive or negative. I'm pretty neutral as far as his guilt in his trial. I'll say this: the system said what it said. You know, a not guilty verdict does not mean innocent. It means they could not prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he was indeed responsible for the allegations against him. And people need to understand that not guilty does not mean innocent. And this is I've told you guys before about the games that are played with words, and you have to be careful. And this is one of the instances why not guilty does not mean innocent. And so I tend to pay attention to how people say things. Going back to what I was talking about earlier, when I started the stream, people will tell you in so many words what their intentions are, what their objectives is. And the thing about it is, you could either take them for what they say, or you could have your own inferred meaning about what they said, and so I try to be careful what people say. And sometimes it's to the point to where I annoy people around me, because they'll go, I know what he meant. I know what she meant. And I go, no, I know what she said. I know exactly what that person said. That person said A, B, C, and D. And that's what I'm going with, And so, again, getting back to OJ, not guilty doesn't mean innocent. It means that they could not find him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. They couldn't prove him to be responsible beyond a reasonable doubt for the deaths of his ex-wife. It is my personal opinion that he didn't do the crimes himself, but that he knows exactly what happened. He knows who did it, and he was probably there. I don't think he did it himself. The man was a multimillionaire. He didn't need to do stuff like that himself. But I bet he was there like Ron Isley, I did this to you. In our Ron Isley, R. Kelly video, when Ron Isley was like, I did this to you. I bet it's my personal opinion that was OJ. He was sitting there, while what was happening. He was there making sure it was being done. But I don't think he got his hands dirty himself. He knew something about it. I'll tell you this much. Yeah. But, it is what it is. OJ Simpson is no longer with the living. Rest in peace, OJ. For whatever it's worth. What do y'all think? Check out, see what y'all saying over here on Facebook and Rumble. What are y'all thinking? So we have that in the news. Let's take a look at some of the other news that may be going on. Then we're gonna talk a little bit later. We're gonna talk about this shooting, this Dexter Reed shooting in Chicago. It's kind of funny. You don't see Black Lives Matter out there twerking like they did back in 2020. They ain't out there twerking. I think because the jig is up, so you don't see, the corporate Black Lives Matter. You may see the grassroots people, but you're not going to see you're not going to see that the political Black Lives Matter out there. Um, the whole thing with this Dexter Reed situation was he was already on bond for a handgun case. And police did a stop for seatbelts, and that he did shoot out. Now, activists are saying that stopping him for a seatbelt violation was unconstitutional. I disagree because I know the law. As you guys know, I did law enforcement for 29 years. And I tell you, the Supreme Court has already said it is permissible for police officers. It didn't say, only, troopers, only uniformed police officers, only, if you are a police officer, you can stop cars for violations, be it, equipment or moving violations. You can stop cars, do the implied consent, and you can investigate further into other crimes under the premise of stopping for the initial vehicle violation. You can do that. You can do that. The Supreme Court has already ruled on it. So what these activists are talking about, they're just bumping their gums or trying to recreate a buzz to rally the Black Democratic vote and the radical, white Dixiecrat vote. That's all it is. That's all that's going on. And so it's white noise as far as I'm concerned. But this criminal decided to shoot at the police. He hit one of the officers, and they shot 96 rounds at him. Hey, listen, if you're gonna shoot at me, you getting the whole clip. And everybody, you better pull out and you better empty the clip on too. It is what it is. You want to start the fight, you don't get to dictate how I finish the fight. You want to put my life at risk, you don't get to dictate how I respond. So we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later because I think the rest of America is getting tired of Pookie and Daquan. I think they're getting tired of Pookie and Daquan and the stuff that they're doing. And America is like, it is what it is. Mike Lee says that got co-opted by Hollywood. It gets cases thrown out down the line. When you say it gets cases thrown out down the line, what do you mean, Mike Reed? Do me a favor and elaborate so I can understand what you're what you're talking about. So yeah, man, but thing is, you can never understood how people can shoot at the police. Hey, you know, man, they you know, they figure, you know, they rather die than go to jail. You know, or they figure, you know, they want to go out in blaze of glory. Either way, you know. Thing is that law enforcement is a dangerous, stressful job. I did not realize just how much stress I had on me until after I retired, and I'm just shedding those layers of stress where I was going to work so stressed out, so sick every day. I didn't realize how sick I was. But it was from, you know, you day to day, you never know what was going to happen. You know, a simple, you know, check the well being, you know, lines up a death investigation. You know, you stop a car, next thing you know, you're in the middle of a chase or a shootout. You know, you go do a patrol on the block, you find, you know, some naked baby, you know, which will turn into a house full of illegal immigrants and all kinds of stuff, man. It would have you stressed out, you know. I just some of the craziest stuff I've seen in my life, man, was on the job in law enforcement, you know. And like I said, I didn't realize how much stress I was under until now, you know, being almost a year off. I don't have half of the illnesses I used to have, man. You know, a lot of that stuff was stress based illnesses, you know. It's like, you know, it's one of the jobs that it will take years off your life if you not realize it. And you guys don't know how many people I know that right before they were supposed to retire, they dropped dead, or like a year or two after they retired, they dropped dead. And these people weren't that old, you know, but it was all that stress, you know, you know, that stress is killing them, man, you know. But, you know, and on the other side, you know, that traffic stop, you can stop a car simply, you know, your intention to be, hey, I'm gonna get this person a warning ticket. You stop a car, next thing you know, you're in the middle of a shootout. You are fighting for your life. You know, the majority of people in this country will never be in a situation like that. You know, would never be in a situation like that. You know, so, but you know, you have activists trying to carry out an agenda. You know, and especially now because this is national election season, you know, we gotta vote for the president of the United States, and you know you know, the Democrats have issued out their marching orders, and you know, part of those marching orders is police ban, you know, so it is what it is, you know. Thing is we need to understand and see it for what it is, you know. I mean, am I saying all police officers are great? No, I've never said that. You know, I've worked with police officers I know were shitty people. You know, I've worked with some great police officers. You know, I tried to be the most fair police officer I could be to people when I was out there. You know, and I've had people tell me, "Hey, John, hey, man, you was one of the good ones because you was fair to everybody." You know, I tried to be that police officer, and you know, I've seen others that tried to be good police officers. Then I see some shitty police officers. I myself had to deal with the leadership of shitty police officers, and to this day, I am still trying to fix things because of that, you know, because you know, I filed the whistleblowers and was retaliated against, you know, which is why I say the whistleblowers act is bullshit. There's no real protections. And you know, people say, well, why would the good officers good police officers telling on the bad police officers because it's easy for the bad police officers to mess over the good police officers, especially when the bad police officers always seem to find themselves in charge of shit. You know, you all don't help because you all don't vote to protect those officers. You know, you allow the departments to try to turn them into criminals and retaliate against them. I've seen it time and time again. You know, so to tell you all, make I tell you what, when women start telling on shit more, then you guys will actually fix the system because y'all don't listen to nothing until women say, "Oh, I was abused," and then everybody want to try to fix shit. So we'll see. Mike Reed says there is no protection. The EEOC is trash. Yes, EEOC is trash. The problem with the EEOC is it's an outside agency that has to go to the people that are being accused of wrongdoing to get the evidence of the wrongdoing. And those people, they not only they can turn over the evidence that they want, then they can turn around and treat you like shit even more because you tried to expose them. So Mike Reese said there is no protection. Facts, man. There is no protection. Yeah, I found a couple of whistleblower acts cost me promotions and stuff. And there are people that I used to work with to this day would tell me, "Hey, you got fucked over," but there's nothing I can do because the investigators they go to the people they go to the administration first. Did you guys treat so and so bad at work? And they go, "Oh no, so and so said we did this. No, we didn't do this again." They're gonna go really shit on you. That's what happens, And guess who a lot of these administrators and investigators are and stuff? Yes, that's right. It's the BW. Miss representation, it's the black girl magics. They be in charge of stuff. And guess what? They're gonna do whatever white folks tell them to do. They have made a deal with the devil and they're going to do whatever those people tell them to do. And they are going to, if they say, "Hey, shit on that guy right there," they're going to, "Yes, sir." You better believe what's coming after that. Keisha is going to come after you like a bulldog. Keisha and Tamika going to be on your neck. Yep. Yeah. That's exactly what they do, So I tell anybody, my former boss, Tom Dart, piece of trash, hiding that domestic at his house. You can't have, 7 people saying the same thing, the exact same thing, that they're facing the same discrimination, but yet, the Department of Labor says, "Oh, no, we can't find any evidence." 7 different people said the same thing. 2 of them, the department had to settle out of court because a big lawsuit. You mean to tell me all 7 of these people who are saying the same thing, most of them are lying? Yeah. So, Tom Dart, another Dixiecrat, I ain't working for you now. I'm retired. So I'm going to say what I want about you. Tommy boy. Yeah. Mike Madigan gone too. Criminal. Mike and Lisa Madigan gone. Them 2 criminals are gone. So Mike Reed says, "I had a BW represent me and my EOC case, and it was a shit show. She's retired EOC, still didn't want to rock the boat to properly defend me." Yeah. That same thing with my case, Mike. I had a DOL complaint that I had to file under USERRA for discrimination, and I had Black Girl Magic as as my investigator, and I turned over all these names, all these instances of evidence and stuff that I had collected for years. And she was like, the employer said that this didn't happen, and the witnesses say that they don't know. And I was like, the witnesses say you didn't contact them. So yeah, Mike, yes. Yeah, I know, man. And see, black women think that nobody should be a more protected class than them. Especially if you're a man. If you're a man, you should be in a protected class unless you're a man trying to be a woman. So, and I was in protected class as a United States veteran and military service member. I had USERRA complaints. Because the department was clearly discriminating against me, black promotions and stuff, because they said I can't be. They're not going to promote anybody that is going to be a military member and work for the department. You got to be in one or the other. That sounds like discrimination to me. If you read how the law says, that is discrimination. Your employer cannot tell you that, but I got told that. And then when I told on them, guess what? They started, I started facing a lot of retaliation. Mike Reed says, "Oh my God, word for word." Yeah, that's what happened to me, man. And I wasn't the only one. It was 7 of us in total. I wasn't the only one. I was the one that said, tried to do things, go the right route, and face the retaliation. But I got a little trick for him, Mike. I got a little trick for him. Even though I'm retired, I got a trick for him. Mike Reed says they said that they don't know, nobody saw, that they weren't there. Right. right. You start putting, yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, and that's why I say document everything. Start video recording these people. Somebody says something to you unusual, video recorded, especially women. Video record everything. Audio and video recording. Video record preferably, but if you can, but if you can audio record, I don't give a damn about the 2-party consent, because that stuff is only when it comes to, and they don't tell you this, when people talk, it's 2-party consent. That only applies when it is in terms of criminal evidence. So on the other side of that, now I'm not a lawyer, but I do understand this. I'm not a lawyer, and ultimately you're going to do what you want to do. But my understanding is that only applies in terms of criminal evidence and criminal accusations. Other than that, if you are in a situation where you feel like you're being targeted and bullied, all of that 2-party consent shit goes out the window. Do what you need to do to protect yourself, and that is to collect evidence and document and journal, because if these people can come back 30 and 40 years later and say, so-and-so had sex with me, and I couldn't consent because I was high. Guess what? You can protect yourself through audio and video recordings too. Damn that other shit. But that's why they aren't going with criminal charges, they're going with civil charges. Because the burden of proof is less. Preponderance of evidence is not a legal standard as proof beyond a reasonable doubt. And so, collect your evidence. Do whatever it takes to get your evidence. Protect yourself, protect your job, and if you need to seek justice in a civil court, you have the evidence to do so. Do not let these people play around with your life and your livelihood, because that's what these people are doing. One thing I will say about Puffy's a damn freak and stuff, but he recorded everybody for a reason. He recorded everybody for that. The one thing I agree with him about is him recording everybody that came within his premises and stuff for a reason. I say do the same thing. Record. If you think something funny, if you get a funny feeling, something don't sound right, start recording people. You know, don't let these people mess around with you. Anyway, all right, it's after 12. I got some stuff I got to do. Y'all know it's Friday, so y'all know what I do on Friday. I make pizza on Fridays. You know, we like our Friday night pizza in this house. So I gotta go get some stuff for the pizza. I'm making the pizza, so I need some ingredients. I gotta go get some Italian tomato paste and stuff like that, you know. But man, I appreciate you all being here. I really do. Do me a favor. Share this stuff with your friends, and you know, especially like-minded people. Share this with your friends and relatives. Uh, like the video if you haven't already liked the video. If you're feeling really generous, drop something in the Cash App so that I can grow this channel. I would eventually like to hire someone to help me pull these video clips and stuff. But you know, nonetheless, I appreciate what you guys have done now. I appreciate it. I love everybody. Hey, listen, y'all be safe, and I probably will come back later because I do want to talk about this Dexter Reed stuff, man. Because you know, man, people getting tired of you know, Shorty Buckshot and them doing what they do. You know, these people are terrorizing the city of Chicago. When they get lit up 96 times with them Hartmans, then people, you know, you got people want to complain. Oh well. Dexter made it. He played a stupid game and won stupid prize. And we're going to talk about it later. We're going to talk about some more of these criminals around here. All right, I'm going to get on out of here. This is Mr. Royce. Royce J. Like, share, and subscribe. Give me a comment section. If you have a show topic you want me to talk about, y'all know what to do. Send me an email or hit me up on Facebook Messenger. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.